Second Front. Is it worth a buy? Let's read the words of the developer. Second Front is a tactical World War II turn-based strategy game. Craft and share your own scenarios and maps, or use your strategic prowess in 48 scenarios set in iconic locations. Command over 40 types of infantry and 216 tanks, vehicles and guns. An infinite tactical sandbox experience. Microprose don't do anything by halves. They never have, probably never will. It's a massive, massive tactical blast of a game. Brought me back to games like Panzer General, Decision in the Desert. I know Panzer General was SSI and not Microprose, but it's that kind of game. You know, the old hex-based games of yesteryear? Well, yeah, this is right up there with them. It doesn't look at mine. The graphics are a bit cartoony. I would have liked a more gritty and realistic graphical representation of the battlefield and the units, but it is what it is. That's my big gripe with the game. But graphics don't make a game, never will. It's all about gameplay, and in games like this, the AI and RNG are things that you need to really consider. Now, RNG really does screw you in this at times. However, there are tons and tons of mitigations that you can pull off to get the RNG to kind of like you a little teensy bit. For example, things like switching the engine off in your tank before you fire will increase the odds of you hitting the target. That's what we're talking about here, guys. If you've moved and then try to fire, you're not going to be quite as accurate if you just hadn't moved. If you would just kind of sit there for a while, getting your breath back and all that kind of stuff, I guess. It's all of these kind of little touches that this is what Microprose do, guys. They're just good at this kind of shit. Now, Second Front comes with 14, I think it's 14, this is off the top of my head, 14 tutorials. These tutorials tell you everything for how to wipe your ass in the bush, guys. What kind of leaves to use to get the full-on wipe. That's what we're talking in these tutorials. It tells you everything you need to know. But if that's not enough, it comes with a manual. Microprose manuals were stuff of legend back in the 90s, guys. They were just like essential reading the size of a phone book. Well, this is the age of digital stuff, and the manual is a digital PDF that you download, and you can give it a good read. It goes into a bit more depth than what the tutorial does. So you're covered completely on how to actually play the game. The game itself allows you to play as the Burger Munchers, the Schnell Kartoffelklopf Rouses, and last but not least, the Nostra Physician We Love Tractors. So yeah, Russia, Germany and America. Now, it has a campaign. It also has a ton of missions specific to each nation. So there's like a lot of American missions, a lot of German missions, and a lot of Russian missions. But most importantly, guys, I think anyway, is it has a map editor. Now this map editor, it's quite good actually. In fact, it's very good. You can make your own campaigns or just single maps. And there's already in the workshop, because it has Steam Workshop, there's already a ton of maps there. In fact, the majority of the footage you're going to see in this video is me playing somebody's map where I'm playing as the Schnells, and we have to hold out on this hill while, I think it's off the top of my head, it was yesterday when I played this, I think it's the Russians attacking, could be the Americans, I can't remember. Who cares? We're getting attacked. Now, the way the game actually plays, it has different phases of battle, which you can see at the top right. There's a fire phase, there's a move in a fire phase, there's an advance phase, there's like a regroup phase, where if your units get, and there's lots of things that can happen to units, but if they get routed, you can actually, there's a chance that you can get them back. As each turn goes on, the higher the chance of getting them back. If you move a commanding officer onto the same hex, you can increase the odds of them coming back into the battle. I should say that each hex, you can't just stack unlimited units on them. You're limited to 3 different units on a like different infantry units on an actual hex. So there's a bit of planning to do as you're moving stuff around the battlefield. You've got to take into account elevation, cover, everything, guys, and everything matters. It's not like there's nothing there just for, oh, that looks nice. Everything actually matters. A ploughed field matters in a battle. Everything matters. You have to really be up to speed on what benefits you get from being in different places, and also as well try and work out where you think the enemy units are, because the AI ambush you. They are sneaky little bastards, guys. But the main beauty of this game is the depth and just the way you can get into a battle, just taking your time over the turns. When you get a good few units in, you might take 20 minutes over a turn, just sort of planning ahead where you're going to put stuff, where you think the enemy's going to go, where your reinforcements are going to come, looking at what day you're going to get them, working all that into to the actual plan that you've got of actually winning a game. Now, unfortunately for me, I haven't had much time in the game because I've got to try and do Tortuga before Sunday, because I've got another one that I want to do on Monday, and then we're coming up to Harry Prick. That releases on the, I think it's on the 10th, and it's already the 3rd, so next week I've got a ton to try and get out before that. There's a chance I'll be getting a key for that as well. Very slim chance, but there's still a chance. They've said they're going to see what they can do. So if that happens, that'll take up most of next week. So I'm basing everything on that, and I'm trying to get all these videos out in time for that. So I haven't been able to spend anywhere near as much time on this as I would have liked. But what I will say is it's definitely worth looking at if you are into this kind of strategy, purely for the editor. I mean, this is kind of unlimited replayability. You don't have to wait for DLCs coming out, because the fans of the game are creating a shit ton of campaigns themselves and missions. And like I said, the mission that I'm playing was made by a player. Some guy made this. It's bloody great. It's really good. Some of these, there's a Kelly's Heroes one, where, you know, the Kelly's Heroes, when the oddball in his Sherman tank, that mission's in there as well. It's a really good game. It's not easy, but there's plenty of help out there in the form of tutorials and manuals to get a grip around the game. So there you go, guys. Second Front for Armchair Generals, a bit of a blast from the past with a lot more detail than we ever could have dreamed of back in the 90s. Definitely worth a buy.